we put a couple hundred rounds through him already, and it's dirty. Still running. In true CMMG fashion, doesn't care how dirty it is. Keeps on trucking. Running like a champ. She's warm. Let's give her a minute to cool down. All right, guys. So here's what we're going to do next. We have 7 different mags in AK style to try out. I got 5 rounds in each. So Palm Island, mag pool, which we just ran, so we know that's not going to have any issues. The fake bake lights. I forget who makes these. Found these online. I think Gun Mag Warehouse had them. The X-Tech. I think this came with one of the M&M Industries AK kind of things there. The good old Tapco. Then we have a SGM Tactical Korea ribbed one. And then a Croatia, which I believe is more of the real deal ribbed one. These two with this little rib on the back is supposed to make it lock open. Now, when it locks open, the moment you remove it, it still slams shut. But just something to keep in mind that is the intention of that on the back. So we'll do those 2 last, but 7 different mags, 5 rounds each. Let's make sure the Dissent can handle them all. All right, guys, 7 different mags, all through the CMMG Dissent, 5 rounds each, starting with the Magpul P-Mag here. 5 shots. Okay. Palm Island. X-Tech. Tapco. First malfunction. Okay. Failure to feed. Round's a little jacked up. Not going to do that one again since this one isn't my gun yet. 2 left with the Tapco. Fake light. Okay. SGM Tactical. Korean ribbed. Failure to feed. Okay, I think this is just a pull bolt back. Okay. Let's lock bolt. Okay. see what's going on. They seem to be fine. Okay, here's what I see. On the ribbed mag, the bolt is actually catching the mag, okay? So I think weird how it was catching the edge of the mag on that one. And last one, the Croatia ribbed mag. Works fine. So the only two we had issues were the Tapco and the SGM Tactical ribbed. Both of them were able to run a few rounds. Both of them had a malfunction of their own. The Tapco failure to feed. It was kind of caught, you know, catty corner trying to get up in the boat. This one, it was just catching on the edges of the mag itself. So you can kind of see where it was hitting. But after we took the mag out, reinserted, it seemed to work fine. So kind of weird, but gives you an idea of just how finicky things could be when you try to, you know, mess with a whole bunch of different mags. So find the ones that run and stay with them. What's going on, everybody? Today we are talking about the CMMG Dissent MK47, this awesome AR-AK hybrid right here in front of me. But before we dive into this review, I want to let you guys know what my relationship with CMMG is. They reached out to us after they saw our 9mm Dissent review with Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo and asked if we wanted to do the AK 7.62x39 version. I said, absolutely, send that bad boy to me, which they did, but we did not get any money or any ammo for this review, and CMMG was all about us doing an unbiased and honest review on our side. So we were all about that. The only thing that was exchanged was this rifle, and we were only given this on a temporary basis. So by the time this review goes out, this gun is going to be back in CMMG's hands. But we just want to let you guys know, full disclosure, what our relationship is with this, so that you guys don't have any secrets out there. But moving forward on this review, guys, this Dissent definitely held up to the expectation I had for CMMG. We've had a lot of experience with their products in the past. We've done the Resolute in 5.56, the Banshee, the now the 9mm Dissent, and also one of my favorites, the CMMG conversion kit in 22. So I had a lot of high expectations for CMMG, and this thing absolutely did what I expected and more. It did not let me down, even with the few malfunctions we had. I was very shocked there was not more with the amount of torture that we were putting this thing through. Like I said, I believe we were at about 800 to 900 rounds through this gun. We kind of lost count after a while, but majority of these were shot suppressed. If anything, we're looking at about 100 of those rounds were shot unsuppressed, and majority of these, all that gas, everything was coming back into the system. They sent this with their CMMG 308 brake, or I'm sorry, their 7.62 brake, but I took it off and put one of our chemo brakes on here so that I was able to quickly detach a few of the different suppressors that I have and do a little bit of testing sound reduction wise and stuff like that as well. But awesome time, guys. You know, the gun itself, true CMMG form. If you guys have been following CMMG for a while, you've watched the progression of their products into what it is now. Especially with this very aesthetically pleasing design that they have going for them. On this one in particular, guys, let's just start from the front here, work our way back. I believe this is a 15-inch handguard, and the handguard itself is somewhat integrated into the entire system. It is separate in the way that you can see that there is a gap here, but there is also these tabs in between the two. I believe that keeps it kind of locked in a little bit better, and also, you know, you have your kind of adjustment, your tightening screws down here at the bottom. But full M-lock all the way on all three sides, Picatinny rail all the way from the front to the back of this bad boy, so plenty of rail space to put any optic, light, laser, anything like that that you're thinking about putting on this thing. You do have an adjustable charging handle. This is a non-reciprocating charging handle, so it's not going to smack into you when you're trying to run this gun. And it does have an adjustable gas block in here. We did not do the adjustable gas block at all, which probably would have helped with a little bit of that gas coming back into this system. But it did run with the setting that it came in out of the box, or at least the setting that CMMG sent us. So it could have been on a suppressor setting, but we just had it running with the way it came, and it still decided to keep going. Once we come back to the receivers itself, you have the CMMG 0 parts, which is the pistol grip, takedown pins, bolt catch, and also the safety itself. And the safety is an ambi safety, which was very nice. I did appreciate that. And the stock as well is CMMG's adjustable Dissent stock, I guess is what you call this thing. It looks a lot like a couple of the other stocks I've seen out there. So I think this is probably one of those things that you can get branded into your name. I don't think this is something that CMMG themselves is making. I could be 100% wrong. Maybe they're making it for everybody else. But I know I have a stock that looks almost identical for my brand up here waiting to be used. But it is a great stock, guys, other than the fact that we broke the little clips on the back here, and that was one of our only issues with this thing. You can see that it just kind of slides freely now. But those little clips did pop out. We're not really sure how that happened. It happened on the last range day, so we made it all the way to those last 100, 200 rounds before that happened. And I only found about half of the parts to put back in, and I have no idea how to put that back in myself. Now that's the quick thinking, just grab it, we'll throw it back in, everything will be fine. But here's where it kind of got funky. The clips themselves, these little plastic pieces that would hold that metal rod and that clip in, are actually snapped on both sides. So this thing went through a lot of pressure. So I can't really blame CMMG for that, because I believe that was something that just like, ooga dooga strength just ripped that thing apart. So definitely not CMMG's fault on the stock, but it is something that we have to note out in these particular reviews. But moving forward back into the gun here, guys, this thing worked with almost every single mag that we had. We had a few minor malfunctions, but nothing that was too serious. And you got to think this thing was already being worked up in the round count, I believe, by the time that we did that mag check. And you guys saw that we did the little mag test. I think we saw 7 different magazines run through this thing. We had a few minor issues, but nothing to be too concerned about. And I believe it, could have been contributed to a lot of different things. The trigger itself was very nice. I believe this is a CMMG trigger itself as well. The trigger had a very clean break, very clean reset, and was just a phenomenal trigger overall. Let's just say conservatively 800 rounds through this gun. Majority of them being suppressed, so you're looking at about 700 of those rounds suppressed. You saw it leaking and oozing all the carbon, oily mess that we had coming out of this thing, and it still kept going. It would lock up here when I would get it back home and try to just chamber it, make sure everything was clear, or just to rack it to make sure I was breaking stuff free, because I really did not try to oil this thing too much. I wanted to see how bad this thing could take a beating and how much it would still go after that, and it really surprised me. I think this thing lives up to the AK side of things, where it's like throw it in the mud, throw it in the sand, throw it in the blood, throw it in the tears, and it's still going to run for you. CMMG Dissent and 7.62x3.9 absolutely held up to that. So complaints on this, not a whole lot. The really only big complaint I have is how heavy this gun was. With adding a light, optic, laser, suppressor, riser, everything that we did, this thing did become super heavy and really made me regret not going into the gym for the entire year before this review. I look forward to hopefully get our hands on one of the pistol versions in the future, because hopefully that one is shaved quite a bit of weight on it and is a little bit easier to tote around. But overall, I think it was a awesome gun. Besides the stock breaking, which I think is not CMMG's fault at all. I think that's something that we did. And the heaviness of this gun, those are very petty things that I can complain about. So I believe we absolutely have a winner when it comes to this CMMG Dissent and
Gotta get in the weight room for this one, boys.
And guys, price on these are about $2,400 if you get them directly from CMMG. I know I was seeing them as cheap as $2,000 just looking around for deals online. So if you guys take a look out there and do a little research, you should be able to find a pretty good deal on this Dissent line, especially the 7.62 and the rifle version. But yeah, guys, that's it from us on this CMMG Dissent in 7.62x3.9. What do you think? Do you have one? Do you plan on getting one? Do you have the Dissent in any other calibers? We love hearing your guys' opinion and try to be as responsive in the comments as we can. But I appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, y'all. And as always, stay alert, stay alive. Get you a Dissent, guys. Mean. It's leaking gas and carbon everywhere, but it just keeps on going. Whew, I like this one a whole lot.